We all make a lot of mistakes in our training journey. I did a lot of things as well. One of those was that progress only came from training harder. More sets, more reps, every set to failure, and all these stuff. In my mind, I thought that if I wasn't pushing to my absolute failure on every single set, I was probably just wasting my time. Some time passed, about 6 months or so, and then I hit a plateau. There was no more muscle growth, no more strength gains, and I could not see my reps improving over time. I had hit a dead end. There was no progress, I was sore all the time, and my energy levels were really down. What I eventually learned is something I wish I knew from day one. You do not grow muscles in the gym. The stuff you do in the gym is just a stimulus for muscle growth. The real muscle growth happens when you're resting and you're recovering. So in this video, I'm going to break down how I figured out that recovery was the one that's stopping my progress. And also, I'm going to show you the 4 major changes that I made to improve my recovery and my overall progress. Let's get into it. Back when I started training, I thought that more efforts is equal to more gains. I used to watch a lot of social media at that time. All these YouTubers and Instagram fitness models, all these guys did a lot of hard workouts. They used to do workouts in which they took every set to failure, throwing in extra volume, saying they never skipped a workout, and I followed them and I tried to do the same thing. Some days I would train for more than 2 hours. Believe it or not, sometimes I even hit 3 hours. I barely took any rest days because every time I took a rest day, I felt like I was lazy and I was not gaining any progress because of that. I used to crack out some push-ups, some crunches, some squats, all these type of stuff, maybe even some pull-ups and dips, but the thing is, I was not really doing a good job. After a few months, what I started to realize was that I hit a plateau. I would not see the reps increasing in my workouts, I could not do more intense workouts, and I could not really progress in any specific manner. I gave everything to my workouts and still, I could not see any results. I was really confused. One of these days, I was going through a back and biceps workout. It's then when it hit me. I could not even get through the last set of curls with my normal weight that I used to train with. I was super sore. There's a difference between having low energy and being super sore, and I was really sore. The weight felt like it was 100 kgs more than it usually is, and I could not lift it at all. This is one of the stages that a lot of people go through, and I also reached the same turning point. I started researching more on muscle growth, and then I discovered the thing that I needed to do. I was not sleeping proper, hence my recovery was not good. My nutrition was not good, so my fuel to grow muscles were not good. I was just building muscle because I was a beginner, and it's really easy for a beginner to grow muscle than really advanced trainers. Isn't that something new you learned today? Keep watching the video. Well, my nutrition was bad, I was not recovering at all, and my body was basically begging for a rest day. Now this changed everything. I applied these 4 principles that I'm going to talk about right now. It changed everything for me, and I started to see a lot of muscle growth because of this. I started to prioritize my sleep a lot more. While just going through my day, I had a lot of work. I had schoolwork, I was doing a lot of training, I was doing crunches, I was doing everything. But what I did not do is I did not prioritize a lot of stuff. You need to prioritize stuff so that you get time for the things you really want to do, and you need to remove the excess stuff that you don't want to do. Well, what I did is I used to get around 5 or 6 hours of sleep every night, and I thought that was enough. I was waking up super tired in the morning, and since I had to go to school, I woke up, I went to school and got everything done. And I slept again 5 or 6 hours the next day, and my muscle growth probably took a hit because of that. I started to aim for about 7 to 9 hours of sleep so that my muscles were not sore the next day, my whole recovery was good, and my sleep was a lot better. I started noticing that I had more energy throughout the day, more energy throughout my workout, which is really important. I had a better pump, so I was feeling really good, and the soreness was not there at all. Your muscles repair and grow while you sleep. Don't cheat the process. The next thing is my nutrition. I used to eat clean, but I did not eat enough for muscle growth. Carbohydrates and fats are something that allow muscle growth. They're not the reason that muscle growth happens, they allow muscle growth to happen. There's a big difference between these two, and you should know about it. Eating more does not specifically mean that you're going to grow a lot of muscle. It can to a point, but if you don't eat enough, your body will start to rely on your muscles to get the energy that it needs instead of the carbs that you're eating. This is one of the reasons why you need to eat enough, and when you don't eat enough, your muscles will shrink because your body is using your muscles to fuel itself. What I started to do is that I started to track everything. My carbs, my fats, my protein, everything I ate was in order, and I was being consistent with it. That's where I saw a lot more muscle growth. I felt a lot better. I was eating enough, and I was fueling my body so that my muscles are growing bigger. You don't need to track every calorie you eat. but you need to be consistent in how much you eat. The next one is scheduled rest days. This one was a hard one for me. I felt guilty about taking a day off. I could just not slack off and lay in my bed or do some crunches or something. I had to do a full-on workout, get a nice pump, feel sore the next day, and only then would I feel satisfied. Well, that isn't really the best for muscle growth, and I realized that after I had made these mistakes for a long time. Now what I do is that I actually plan my rest days and go through my rest days as if it is an actual workout and not just a rest day. Sometimes it's just a whole day off, sometimes I do cardio, it just depends on my mood. The next one is I started to take deload weeks seriously. A lot of people don't even know what are deload weeks. After 6 or 7 weeks, or maybe 8 to 12 weeks, depending on if you're a beginner or an intermediate, you'll need deload weeks in specific time frames. If you're a beginner, you don't need deload weeks quite often because you haven't really reached a point where deload weeks are essential for your body. Advanced lifters, on the other hand, who have been training for maybe 2 or 3 years, do really need to take some breaks. And this break could just be a week in which you train with very light weights just to keep in touch with the weights, but you don't need to go hard on the sets. I used to think deload weeks were a waste of time, but now I use them strategically and they're actually really good. Now here's the good part. After I started being consistent with all these methods, I started to see a lot of muscle growth, especially in my shoulders, my upper chest, my back, and my triceps. They were becoming huge. It's then that I realized that I had been making these mistakes. After I corrected these mistakes, I was feeling a lot better. Now I enjoy my workouts a lot more. I'm motivated to do it every single day. You will call it discipline, but I'm really motivated to do it every single day. The pump is just crazy. I don't feel a lot of soreness afterwards. The small amount of soreness actually feels good. I know a lot of people relate to that, and this is good. Lastly, I would like to say that training is not the only thing that you need to do. Recovery is more important than training itself. Since our body was made to survive and not build muscle, our body focuses more on the recovery than actually building your muscle. And hence, if you don't get enough recovery, your muscles will not grow because your body will just not prioritize it. Hit like if you're going to follow these from now on, and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.